Hi, it's been a few days since I've done a YouTube video blog. This week has not been that good of a week for me physically. I have some challenges I'm going through. So I haven't had the energy. I've done some written blogs that can be found on bravehealing24.blogspot.com. And this morning I just wanted to do a blog on my disease, and it's actually just 30 questions and 30 answers, so it's supposed to be done quickly. I wrote down the questions, obviously, that I found online, but I didn't write down the answers, so this is just going to be as they come to me. And instead of spending an hour on my hair and makeup, this is just what it is today. Because I am in the middle of one of the worst pain flares I've ever had in my life. Yesterday and last night, I would say my pain got to a 12, and that was on Norco and other things that are legal in my state. And so putting on makeup today wasn't really going to happen. So this is what's going to happen. This is what it looks like. Okay. All right. I did put a little mascara on because then I didn't really think about putting my glasses on. So, okay. So 30 things about my endometriosis. Question number 1, the illness that I live with is ... endometriosis. Big shock. Number 2, I was diagnosed in year 2010. The year that symptoms began when I was 13, so 1983, 1996. So I started having symptoms in 1996, and I was diagnosed until 2010. Okay? The biggest adjustments I've made in my life, yikes, aside from the fact that I don't have much of a life, driving, I used to love to drive, and I still love to drive. However, so frequently I'm on so many medications that it's not possible for me to drive, so that's a big adjustment. I used to like doing road trips, and now when I do them, when I'm even able to be a passenger in them, I'm usually not able to drive, and that's been a big adjustment for myself and for my friends. So I would say my ability to do my activities of daily living, due to either the illness itself or the medications I have to take for it, would be the biggest adjustment I've made. Most people assume endometriosis just means you have bad cramps. Well, I had a hysterectomy and I still have endometriosis, so obviously it's not just bad cramps. And saying that it's just bad cramps is such a dismissal of the experience of what endometriosis is. Because your periods don't make you miss school every other month. Your periods don't get you fired from your job from lack of attendance. Your periods don't cause you to have 5 surgeries in 5 years. So that's what a lot of people assume. The hardest part about mornings are getting out of bed. I hate getting out of bed. And lately, since my surgery, I don't even fall asleep until maybe 5 or 6 in the morning. So getting up in the morning is gut-wrenching. This morning I actually slept quite a bit, so I was able to get up when my 5th alarm went off. I intended to get up several hours earlier, but that generally does not happen. My favorite medical TV show, I don't really have a favorite medical TV show. I guess the only one I like is Botched on E, which I don't know if that's even considered a medical TV show. But my friend's son is the producer, so I like to see it when her last name comes on the screen. And I think that the 2 doctors are hilarious, and they help to change the lives of their patients. So I like Botched. A gadget I cannot live without. I guess if we're talking technologically, it's my phone. I do everything on my phone. And the laptop that I'm filming from. The hardest parts of nights. Yikes. The hardest parts of nights are falling asleep. Another hard part of nights is not having as many distractions as the day. So I feel like nights are generally more painful than daytimes are. just because there's not so many things to do. People aren't awake. There's not the hustle and bustle. Even in bed, there can be hustle and bustle during the day when you're not doing anything. But at nighttime, I think you can tend to feel more alone and feel more pain. This is going to be a hard one. Each day I take how many pills and vitamins? Okay, so I have to think this out. I take 2, 3, 4, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16. I take in between 16 and 18 pills per day. Now that's vitamins and supplements and actual medications. It's actually more vitamins and supplements and probiotic than medications, but that's a lot of pills. The next question regarding alternative treatments, I completely believe in alternative treatments. I'm certified in Reiki, so I love the idea of alternative treatments. I actually am looking into working with an acupuncturist and a Chinese medicine herbalist doctor now. I'm just trying to figure out what path is right for me. So I believe in it for myself, and I think that people should try whatever they want. For myself, my belief is I believe in whatever works. If you think doing a handstand in the morning every day for a half an hour makes you feel better, go do your handstand. So I consider an alternative treatment something that a doctor wouldn't generally recommend. But I believe whatever makes you feel better, do it. For myself, I like it. I'm just new in exploring it for myself. If I had to choose between an invisible or an invisible disease to live with, which would I choose? I don't know. One of the most aggravating things about endometriosis is that if you're not bloated, like I used to be, it's not visible. And when it was visible, it was, oh, are you pregnant? Congratulations. How far along are you due? So I don't appreciate either side of it, and I've been able to see either side of it because right now my disease is invisible, and people will be like, well, you look fine. I mean, I don't look fine now, but I'll look fine hopefully in a little while. People will say, well, you look fine. What's wrong with you? You don't look sick. That's my least favorite thing. You don't look sick. And I want to say, well, you don't look stupid is what I want to say. Which I think I just did. So I'm not sure on that one because I've actually been, with my disease, able to experience both, and I'm not sure I can pick one being easier to deal with than the other. Regarding working career, I miss my working career. I spent a lot of time and passion and my life getting ready to go into my career. Got my master's degree in gerontology. I have now like 11 years, I think, experience working in the field in various capacities. And I love my work and I miss my work, and it really bothers me that I'm unable to fulfill what I feel are my job duties as of right now. I mean, I'm on leave right now. I'm lucky I made it from the bed to the couch to the bed to do this. So I really miss my work, and I feel guilty about that. What would people be surprised to know? I think people would be surprised to know the level of exhaustion that comes with endometriosis. There's a condition also called painsomnia, which is insomnia, which is due to pain, which I have every day. And the fatigue that comes with endometriosis, I don't think people understand. They've actually compared the level of fatigue with endo to the level of fatigue with advanced cancers. So that's something I think people would be surprised to know. The hardest part to accept about my new reality is, boy, these are hard questions. The hardest part of my new reality. What is my new reality? That's a hard one. I have no female reproductive organs left. Now I can feel the hot flash coming. So being in menopause is definitely, I don't know if that's the hardest part to accept, but that's definitely a hard part to accept because I didn't get to gently glide into menopause with like perimenopause and years before. I mean, it was literally an overnight, okay, here, we're taking your organs. Now you're in menopause. So that's a difficult thing that I'm still learning to adjust to because it's only been like 5 weeks today. I'm post-op from that surgery. So I'm still very much learning what that means for my body. So that's been a big change. And also, another big, hardest part. No, that is the hardest part. Okay, I changed the question in my mind. See, this is what it's like in the morning. And I took my pain medications. So now I feel a little bit loopy. Okay, something I never thought I could do with my illness. With my bloating, I was wearing extra large shirts to cover up how bloated I was. And I showed a picture that I don't have with me during one of my last videos. And I used to look actually I might be able to find one real quick. Severely bloated. And I used to have to wear extra large clothes. People would frequently think I was pregnant. And I wasn't, which was, here's one. Which was devastating. Okay, so here I am on May 5th so that's May 5th, my bloating. So I used to have to wear extra large clothes. And now after my surgery, here I am on June 9th. And I can wear a small shirt. So yesterday, I got to wear my first small t-shirt. And I actually cried a little bit. I got a 2-piece bathing suit yesterday and a small t-shirt. So that's something I never thought I'd be able to do. The commercials about my illness make me feel... I've only seen a few commercials for endometriosis, and they're for treatments that I don't support. So the commercials that I see for my disease, first, are few and far between. And second, infuriate me because I know what the medication is and I know what it's done to my body, and I don't think that it should be allowed to be used for endometriosis. Something I really miss since my diagnosis, I probably miss just the easy things, just being able to take part in everyday life without everything being such an effort. Like yesterday, I don't want to say I just went to lunch, but I went to lunch with a friend. That should not be some type of gut-wrenching, energy-zapping experience that you have to medicate for. See, and I lose my voice in the morning. This is just au naturel this morning. I feel bad even saying this, but I had to come home and take pain meds after lunch with my friend. I loved having lunch with my friend, and this was a very dear friend and someone who's a sister and understands part of what I'm going through, and I understand part of what she's gone through. But that's definitely been the hardest thing since, I hope that was the question. What I miss. Okay, that is what I miss. Just being able to get up and do what I want when I want to do it and being able to do it myself. I had to have my friend come and pick me up yesterday. And today I have to have my friend come and pick me up because I can't drive on these meds. So either I can't drive or I can drive but I can't take my meds. So I miss just being able to be 31 and do what I want when I want to do it, how I want to do it. The next question is, it was really hard to give up, ... What has it been? It's been hard to give up every organ that I've had sucked out of my body in my surgeries. I've lost my gallbladder, my appendix, my uterus, my ovaries, my fallopian tubes, and my cervix. So it's been hard to give up each one of those organs. And then to see the surgeries not be successful is what made it harder. I mean, it's hard enough to lose your female organs at a young age. I lost my first organ when I was 28. It's hard. So that's definitely what was hard to give up. A new hobby I have taken up since my diagnosis. I've taken up a few hobbies. I like to make jewelry. I like to knit and crochet now that I learned. Thank you, Jamie. But I haven't done either of those because I've been in too much pain. My hobby now is Egypt documentaries on TV and writing. I like to write, so I write my blog frequently, or I write poems. So those are some of my hobbies. If I could have one day of feeling normal, I would love to. I would love to just go on a road trip up the coast. Because that would mean no nausea, no pain meds, no pain, no having to pull over to puke. And the coast of California can be curvy, and that used to be my favorite drive. So I would definitely say a drive up the coast. My illness has taught me, yikes, my illness has taught me so much. It's taught me not to judge what other people are going through. I've never really been a critical person, but it's just helped me to understand that just because I don't know the disease someone else has doesn't mean that they don't have it, or that their experience is any less valid just because of my misunderstanding or lack of understanding. So that's definitely something that I've learned from my disease. So that part I can be grateful for, because I feel like it gives me more of a capacity to be empathetic for my patients. One thing that gets under my skin that people say to me is that you don't look sick. Right now, that's what I get said. Before, it used to be, how far along are you? Congratulations that you're pregnant. So at least it's changed. But it does bother me that people assume that you have to look sick to not feel well. I love it when people say, how are you? And actually mean it, instead of just the, hey, how are you? And then when you want to give the answer, the person's 150 feet away, not really wanting to hear. Like the kind of person that wants to be like, hey, how are you doing? You know, I share a lot on my blogs, and I share a lot on Facebook. But just because I share it on there doesn't mean I don't want to talk about it with somebody specifically. So I have some friends that I'm able to. That's definitely one of the favorite things that people say, just them asking, because that's just they care. My favorite motto or mantra, yikes. One is breathe. That helps me a lot. Another comes from one of my teachers, Diana Lang, and one of her affirmations is, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I'm yards away from being able to pull that in, but just hearing that said makes me able to breathe a little bit better. And another that I just recently learned from a new therapist is, what else is true? I have a lot of negative feelings about myself because of my disease. And so she's trying to teach me to use that statement to try to find out, okay, so I'm in pain and I'm having this experience, but what else is true about my life? I'm a good friend. I am a good gerontologist. So it's about finding what else is true and trying to focus on that instead of the pain. So those are my favorite mottos or affirmations. If I knew someone that was recently diagnosed, what would I like to tell them? I would probably like to tell them, this is going to change your life. I've been misconceived a few times with different doctors that this is going to be it. And it's not, and that's devastating. And so I would rather have somebody living knowing that this is potentially a lifelong, life-changing diagnosis. It's most likely that kind of thing, instead of something that, oh, you just have this surgery or you just take this pill and you're going to get better. So that's definitely something that I would have liked to have said to me. It's definitely something I would like to say to any recently diagnosed sisters. Hold on to your seats. And just good luck. And yeah, this is going to change your life. Something that surprises me about this disease definitely is how much it changes your life. I remember the exact moment. I remember everything about where I was sitting and everything, what doctor it was that told me the first time I heard the word endometriosis. I had to write it down because I couldn't remember what the word was or how to say it. And what was the question? Something that surprises me. See, this is what it's like to be on medication mind. It surprises me how much of my life it has taken from me. I've left jobs due to this disease. It's changed every aspect of my life. I've lost friends from this disease. I've lost organs. I've lost any type of genetic. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Any type of turmeric makes me hiccup. One of my 3 pills I take a day. No, 3 of my pills I take a day. So that surprised me that it was going to impact my life in such a forever way. The nicest thing someone did for me while I was sick, I have a lot. The last time I was in the hospital for 10 days, and I had a lot of visitors, so that's always nice. One of my friends brought me this bear, and so I like tactile things, so I really like this bear. Another one was my neighbor. Last year took me to an emergency room, and she sat with me for 9 hours waiting, and she didn't want to leave me there because the emergency room was like an hour away in case I got released, and then I'd have to call and have somebody come back and pick me up. So she stayed with me until I got assigned a room, which was a 9-hour wait. So that was a pretty incredible thing, and that was a neighbor. I've had really countless things. Those are the 2 that come to my mind right now. I don't mean to leave anybody out. Everybody helps me every day. My new friend yesterday helped me by taking me out to lunch. So every day, I'd say every day somebody does something nice for me, which is nice. The reason I am involved with endometriosis awareness, because people don't even know what the disease is. And especially because it's a condition that generally, it can affect men, but it generally affects women. I feel it doesn't get the attention that it deserves, and it also doesn't have the word cancer attached to it. Now, I'm not saying that cancer is not important, but endometriosis is important too. And it is one of my missions in life to educate on what endometriosis does and what it actually takes away from the people that have it. If you read the definition of it, it sounds like, so what? It is not so what. It is a life-changing diagnosis. I mean, that's all I can say about that. The fact that you watched this makes me feel so grateful. I'm grateful that you just spent 23 minutes watching this little get to know my diagnosis video. So that was 30 questions about my endometriosis in just under 30 minutes. And I wanted to end with a little affirmation called "I am worth loving." I don't have to earn the right. I already messed up. This is early in the morning. I'm not even going to do a second take. This is just going to be it. I am worth loving. That's the main affirmation. And then the short meditation is, I don't have to earn love any more than I have to earn the right to breathe. I have a right to breathe because I exist. I have a right to love because I exist. I am worthy of my own love. I don't allow my parents or society's negative opinions or popular prejudices to make me think that I am not good enough. The reality of my being is that I am lovable. I accept this and I know this. I find that people now treat me as a lovable person. So that's a meditation that I'm working on with in my private life and meditation practice. So I hope you enjoyed this was going to be short, but nothing with me is ever short. I'm long-winded. So I just want to take one quick breath, okay? So we're going to inhale. And exhale. And that affirmation, by the way, was by Louise Hay. And I want to that's definitely not something I'm trying to take credit for. So I hope you all have a great 4th of July. I'm hoping to. I love fireworks. They're my favorite. I love the 4th of July. So I hope you're all safe. And I'll probably have a post up next week because I'm going to be seeing a new doctor for this new issue, which completely makes sense. So I completely believe the diagnosis I've been given. I just don't want to say it yet because it's not necessarily a good thing. So I just want to sign off with peace, and I love you, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I hope you have a happy 4th. Thank you.